What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV. And today we're going to go through the 28 years later interviews / behind the scenes. This is a really intriguing one because this film's turned out to be quite divisive. Online, I fall more into the enjoyed it camp, find it quite refreshing with its weirdness, but I get it didn't work for everybody. So let's go through the heaps and heaps of stuff that exists for this. I've got to go through about 4 hours worth of stuff. There's much more than in some of the other films I've covered. So let's get into it and see what we learn. There will be spoilers in this video, so just warning you now if you haven't seen it.
We actually blended the human voice with coyotes wailing because that makes you think, what am I hearing?
That's horrifying.
I'm Johnny Byrne, sound designer of 28 Years Later.
That's cool. Sound designer getting a highlight. This seemed to have quite a big advertising push. Nice, I love seeing this kind of stuff.
And how important the sounds were and how guttural and real and visceral everything felt. So it was about understanding the emotion of a scene.
It's nice they revisited and thought about the original movie.
You know, I worked on the Zone of Interest and there's a scene.
Oh, great film. Incredible film.
Scene where we hear Rudolph Hoss outside the window and he's on a horse and we never actually see it, but we recorded it with him on the horse. And you can tell when it's fake. You know, if you went into sound post-production, you probably wouldn't understand what it is you didn't like about it, but you know that you were not believing the film, the scene, or whatever you were being told at that time.
Sound designers are such unsung heroes.
That would be the net result. Even the Bone Temple stuff later on in the film, what we wanted to feel was that once you
how do you get the bone sounds?
Get across the river and you get onto this island and this doctor has made this enormous temple out of human bones, that you could kind of feel the ambience blowing through it and the winds and the atmosphere. You could take lots of different wind instruments, flutes and even scaffolding poles and all sorts, and play them badly, and that's the soundscape you hear in that. It's lots of out of tune instruments.
That's cool. Right, I guess I credited that more to the score. Interesting.
Because the sound design in the film is sort of like the subconscious of the film, you know, it's the latent threat going on the whole time.
And when it's done particularly well, it won't get credit, but you definitely notice when it ain't there.
Along with the score.
Johnny, thank you so much for your time. This has been amazing.
So lovely to talk to you, Michael. Thank you so much.
What? I didn't even know this guy was hosting it. He didn't say anything. That was a good video.
What does Pookie mean?
Wait.
Oh.
That's my Pookie for real.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get the same amount of substance from this one.
That's my Pookie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that ever.
Nah.
Feel at home with this video? It's my people type thing.
Not to her face. Not in her presence.
Maybe jokingly.
I don't think I've ever used the word Pookie before. So, Aaron, today you are going to be guessing Gen Z slang words.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And Alpha, you're going to read them out.
Well, he seemed enthused.
Okay, yeah. That's my Pookie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that ever.
Nah.
I just don't get the point of these videos. Like, well, I get the point. It's advertising. There's a huge logo for the movie and actors, you know.
I don't think you'll know this one. What does Riz mean? Example.
Finally, the important questions.
What does touch grass mean? Example.
Another important one.
I've got teenage girls. I know some. I might know some. It doesn't sound like you're saying someone's like that.
How old is he? Did he say he had teenagers? He's only 35. Wait, controversial relation. They got married in 2012. What? She was 42 when she met him at 18 on the set of his first film. Right. What the fuck? Imagine if your ex-wife married an 18-year-old Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Right, that was bizarre.
You know, fit or anything.
There's just crappy online videos that aren't good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to go touch grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crappy online videos that ain't good for you. There's a lot of those.
Nice one.
That's cool.
That was great. Thank you so much, guys. Well done, man.
Cheers, man.
Is that the whole video? I like his reaction. It's like,
Cheers, man.
get me the fuck out of here.
Hello, I'm Danny Boyle. I wanted
Oh, Danny Boyle jump scare.
Hello, I'm Danny Boyle. I wanted to talk to
Why they edit it like that?
Hello, I'm Danny Boyle. I wanted to talk to you about.
They like cut off his audio right at the end.
I'm Danny Boyle. I wanted to talk to you.
He said something else.
And it often gets forgotten.
The fact that that is like such a expected part of the industry is so sad, you know, that it was like news and notable that James Gunn could announce that we're not going to go forward with any project until we have a script. Like, that's how low the budget, you know, there's an iPhone and then there's this.
You adapt.
Like, look at these lenses, they're strapping to an iPhone. Plus and unusual is a good way of putting it. This technology must have been fun to direct around, just having that flexibility.
So this is an...
And there it is, the big phone rig for action shots that I personally found really cool. I know some violence from this.
Of course, because what we want you to do is to go and see the film.
Even Danny Boyle's laughing at the absurdity of some of YouTube's choices.
Because YouTube won't broadcast it, apparently.
That's funny.
But his clothes are manky and sweaty and iodine stained, and you'd probably...
It's funny hearing him say the word manky.
Clothes are manky and sweaty and iodine stained, and you'd probably be pretty stinky.
We have done.
You'd probably be a little bit stinky.
Probably be pretty stinky.
And now he is tonally that of iodine.
Well, that was the whole thing.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody.
How can you, like, be balanced after being a part of a project as big as this and be so young? That must be so surreal.
Obviously, there was these two very distinct spaces that we were trying to create, and one was the island, which was supposed to this kind of impoverished, grey, sort of depressing place, actually, even though it's a safe.
It's cool, it's a real place too in the UK.
So as soon as you step onto the mainland, it's lush, it's green, and it's kind of overwhelming for him. We ended up basically shooting.
I really like the setting for this movie. Like, 28 Days Later is a great movie and everything, but every movie in the UK is set in London.
And obviously the second film in the trilogy is called The Bone Temple, so we knew it was...
Obviously. Very cool location. Very Souls-like.
That was going to have a lot of importance and that we had to get it right. We eventually...
Which is fitting, because Alex Garland is doing a Elden Ring movie.
He basically said it's something he'd never seen before, and I think that's what really got him excited about it, and it's the idea that we could physically go to...
Very cool how much they built.
To a location. Everything was done outside in the open air, for better or for worse.
Wow. I guess I would have assumed that in the dense Bone Temple shots that it would have been on a soundstage, but they actually built this in a field. Let's go.
Do you know the words Memento Mori?
It just looks so much better though. When you're building stuff and have that commitment.
We had a whole team of incredible kind of embroiderers, and kind of breakdown artists to essentially batter them.
That's cool, that the dedication to the costume design with what they're saying about this version of the UK would be trapped in a stagnant version of itself from like the very early 2000s. So all the clothes would be weathered and old and repaired again and again because they're not trading with anyone there. Completely isolated.
So it's very difficult to know exactly, you know, what you prioritize.
Brazil in the background, shout out to Brazil.
We have Maddie here. Perfect.
Hey, how's it going? Matt.
Hi, I'm
nice
Danny.
How you doing? All right?
Good, how are you?
Do you film on this?
I do, yeah.
Don't respect the older generation too much.
That's interesting advice.
Yeah, you gotta carve your own path.
Experimenting, if you've got a reason within the story or within the idea or the way you want to do the story that allows you to employ technology, I'd love doing that because it's...
Yeah. He phrased that perfectly. If you have an idea, if you have a reason.
Yeah. I love the cameras and experimenting. If you've got a reason within the story, and I imagine one day cinema will be able to do that. You'll be able to astral project inside the image.
You'll be in the movie all the time.
It's so passionate. It's very infectious.
So you're not tempted at all to get the latest and greatest 65 IMAX cameras. You're not tempted at all to go that like...
Well, if it suits the story, yes.
Yeah, that's always kind of as simple as it is. If it suits the story.
Don't watch Oppenheimer and think, wow, this is so great to see this in 65, isn't it? You just go, wow, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
What an actor. Oppenheimer.
Wow, Cillian Murphy, baby.
Television is great, but it's part of your living room and part of... There's other shit going on.
Yeah.
In the cinema, there's just that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm curious.
Seems like he likes to challenge you a little bit.
It does help that you have experience and that you've had some success, but to deal with the bullshit of the industry, which you can
kind of push back a little more because you got a little more.
Just everyone says the same thing. the bullshit of the industry.
I feel for young filmmakers who don't have that experience of knowing when they're going to be fucked around by somebody who doesn't know as much as they know. It's just that they have an instinct. They don't have a degree or they don't have anything to show for it yet. But their story is what we should be protecting and helping them make, you know. So
Damn, I like listening to this guy speak.
Minecraft, Sinners, Mission Impossible, whatever it is they're seeing, wide variety of films, that's really healthy.
That's funny to hear Danny Boyle say Minecraft.
Minecraft, the last time I worked with Alex was on Sunshine, actually. And we sort of fell out a bit at the end of that, just about the idea of the ending of the film we didn't agree on.
That's interesting that they fell out over Sunshine. I need to rewatch that.
What are you hoping that people get out of this movie?
A kind of intense experience that I associate with cinema, with a big screen, and with that weird feeling where,
Well, he definitely delivered that.
where you're sitting with a group of people who you don't know, and you're going through a kind of journey together. And in this case, I want you to not only just be on this journey, I want you to come back and see Nia DaCosta's film, which inherits some of the characters from this, and will be out next year. So it's a massive commitment to an epic idea, really, which I think cinema should have that epicness, whether it's on the.
I think it should have that epicness. He's just spitting out these facts.
Don't respect the older generation too much.
That's interesting advice.
Cinema is vampiric. It needs new ideas. It needs new blood always.
So true.
We want to use them because they're very light. There are lots of other cameras of a similar size now, and they give you the ability to work in remote places.
I have a feeling they're going to talk about the phone thing a lot.
What's 28 years later now on the Apple TV app?
A version of iodine, I say. And it was...
This one also has terrible audio quality. This is an ongoing theme with these videos. These types of interviews just have awful audio.
this sort of makeup substance that looked like iodine. Applying this to me.
Why does he look so, like, spaced? Tired from interviews? I'd be tired after one of these fucking things.
And it wasn't too painful. I've had worse experiences. So in the morning when you're all sort of vulnerable and fragile, and
he looks like wasted.
This cold thing is put on you.
Where you mentioned Danny is the least neurotic director that you've ever worked with. Can you explain to me?
The least neurotic. Yeah. well, you are. I mean, because a lot of the reasons people are attracted to film directing is because they have a sense of their own omniscience, which really just means they're narcissists. And all I can tell you is the next director I worked with was appalled. When I turned up in the rehearsals, like, right, let's rehearse. Honestly, like, he was horrified.
Who would that be? So I guess he's talking about this guy? Or this guy?
If you hunt in a pack, like a wolf, you get alphas develop naturally out of a pack. You also get some that are not suited to hunting in packs, and so maybe they eat earthworms and...
Actually, the wolf alpha trope is not based on any real science, I think you'll find.
Now, if you're not familiar, 28 Years Later is a sequel to 28 Days Later, the 2002 cult classic that pretty much redefined the zombie genre.
No one's mentioned 28 Weeks Later yet, a film that didn't push any boundaries, and for some reason has a higher score on IMDb than Years. Go rewatch that movie if you don't believe me. It is aged horribly. We did a whole Sardonicast episode about it. I'd recommend if you still have rose-tinted glasses about it.
I watched 28 Days and I was like, I have to get the spot.
Are you even old enough to watch that movie, kid?
Was that thing a prosthetic?
Yeah. Everyone's obsessed with the dicks.
Yeah, listen, this is a very this was a salutary
Alex didn't like that
moment where we discovered via our intimacy coordinator that when you have a
I
child
thought he was going to grab a cigarette.
of 12 present in every scene, which is pretty much he is, all genitals, male and female, have to be fake. They can't be real.
Oh,
The
wow.
Child Sex Offences Act would put me in prison if I allowed him to see real genitals.
Right, so this is where this must be the interview where the articles came from.
So he has to look at absolutely photoreal genitals created by a prosthetics company. And you can see things through it or in front of it. You know, people read into it. They look at Gaza. They look at the treatment of immigrants, of migrants. You can look at COVID. You can look at Brexit on a small scale political degree to do with British political
I definitely saw a lot of Brexit in the movie.
circumstances at the moment. You know, the isolation of the island, even though it's an imposed isolation in our story, and it's a chosen isolation in the political. So things drift in and out of focus. And
the original film was the product of lots of people working together, cast, crew, and sort of.
What about 28 weeks?
Broadly.
I wanted to know, have there been discussions, or have you guys talked at all about bringing back other familiar faces from like 28 weeks later before the trilogy wraps up, or is that chapter considered
Oh, his smile's indicating something.
kind of closed in you guys' mind?
we certainly haven't talked about that. No. But I mean,
no.
Yeah,
that's the simplest way of putting it.
I thought he was going to leave it at, if you look carefully at Alex during this, he like can't even hold back. He's shaking his head like.
Or is that chapter
Yeah,
considered
look.
kind of closed in you guys' mind?
We certainly
He's
haven't
like
talked
raging at 28 weeks.
about that.
No.
But
I mean, no.
At Sundance 2003.
Oh,
So
God, yes.
Take a look at.
It's a miracle that you make some things that you think are the best thing you've ever done and nobody's interested. And you make something else and suddenly you can't. So we made this, I made this.
So true.
This film, Slumdog Millionaire. You couldn't stop people coming to see it. We made this film together, Sunshine. So proud of the film. Nobody went to see it.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one.
Lots of it is, if you're a Young Fellas fan, you'd say, yeah, that's them, that's them. But they wrote this tune for the scene, the big scene at the Bond Temple with Isla. They wrote this tune called Remember. That'll surprise people. Very beautiful bit of writing. It's like,
It's so good,
yeah, I love them. They're a real inspiration, and they come from.
I didn't know anything about the score. Young Fathers. What did he say the name was? Yeah, that was a good moment.
Is there an album that you always go back to? You have to pick one. London Calling. Why that one?
They were it.
Good choice.
You want to disrespect anyone? No, you don't. I mean, say next one, get you. This is why I call it media training. Do you know what I mean? It's like, get you.
Right, I'm going to cut it off there, because as you can see from this time code, I'm 2 hours in, but as you can see from this time code, there's still 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm at midnight, so what I'm going to do is do a second part to this, because I'm intrigued, I'm learning a lot from this, and the sheer amount of this is very enjoyable for me. So thanks for watching if you got this far. See you on the next vid. Bye.